people who jump us for it. Because it's funny, when we started our Worth the Way YouTube channel, we didn't start with the intention to say like, oh, this is a Christian YouTube channel. Like, we never did that. We just talked about our truth and what it was. And then that drew a lot of course, a Christian community because of the weight. Yeah. And we used to get jumped for it, like friends, family, like, and then people, especially because both of my parents are ministers as well, and they were actually fairly chill about it initially when I told them, but like we used to get jumped for it from people in the comments and all that stuff, and we didn't think it was an issue, mainly because we weren't having sex. Yeah. Like, we had already made the commitment that we weren't having sex, so it was like, I don't understand what's the issue. We're not, like, if Bree was my roommate and she was my best friend, would that be wrong? Exactly. And that's it's what like, we were. That's essentially what we were. And then, you know, of course, people. So let me tell you a little bit about my background too. I grew up in a Christian school from kindergarten to 8th grade. Like, both of my parents are elders. I grew up in the church. My grandmother was a church superintendent, like church school conferences, like all that stuff. I grew up in a church. So like, I literally had classes on the Bible, like A, B, C, Joseph, Jacob, Moses, or David, like A, B, C, or D. Like, I grew up classes with the, like, so I understand the word. And I get a lot of people bringing up these verses and saying this meant this and that meant that. And the biggest one was always like, oh, you shouldn't have the appearance of sin, right? The appearance that you're doing. And I'm like, so we have a channel telling you that we are waiting for marriage. That's the only reason you even know us, is because we have a channel telling you we're waiting for marriage. What do we appear to be doing to you? Yeah. You're under this comment because you know we wait for marriage. So me telling you that I live with my girl or fiance, what am I appearing to do? That always confused me. And then I knew that, like, we're waiting for marriage. So it's like, we're here, we're doing this because we started this business together, we made sense, like, I held her down. And then I feel like God continued to bless us in our relationship and give us favor throughout our relationship. So throughout that time, I'm like, we're not doing anything wrong. Yeah.
And if anything, I felt more tempted to have sex when we weren't living together, because when we would have like moments, you know how like if you don't see someone often, like if you have a long distance relationship, how when you're with that person, then it makes the time you spend with them like more valuable or special. So like you do extra things or whatever. Like, we could be at my place knowing that Dre is about to leave, and in the moment I could feel like tempted, and it's because we're in this space for just this one like moment, and he's like leaving. And I don't know if this makes sense for you, but once we started living together, it just became normalized to me to always have him around, and I didn't start to feel anything like when I would see him with his shirt off, like I wouldn't think like, ooh, like sexual thoughts. It's like, oh, they're straight. It was definitely like a roommate situation, which could be a con at the end of the day, because then once you get married, it's like, well, where's the, you know, you kind of like have seen and dealt with all of that, but it made sense for me. And
yeah,
felt
I
right.
understand what you're
like,
saying.
At the end of the day, it's your choice. So whoever you're dating, talking to, and wanting to marry, like, it's what you guys ultimately want and what works best for your relationship. We knew that we could live together and not be tempted or feel like that would break our vow, and that's because of the boundaries that we